What's good, y'all? It's your boy TheBadSeed, aka Nicholas Cage, aka Larry J. Blige, aka your mother's baby father. Yo, check it out. We back with another episode of your favorite song. Six Man Radio presents your favorite song. And here what we do is we get some of the dopest artists, some of my personal favorites, and I sit down with them and I ask them, "What's your favorite song, baby?" You know what I'm saying? And then they tell me, and then I tell them what my favorite song is as a fan. You know what I'm saying? So in this episode, yo, man, listen, there's two guys, right, that grace God's green earth that I can really say are two of the greatest men I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of they were my best friends in the world. PH, Rested Dead, is one of them. Flawless guy. Flawless. You go see the shining sea, you won't hear anything bad. Like this, his heart is golden. The other guy is my guest tonight, man. One of my best friends in the whole world. Really dope artist. Known him a really long time. That's my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, MIMS. What up, bro?
See, what up, man? What's good?
Yeah, man. You know, hey, yo, it's a pleasure to have you on. You know, it's only right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we had you on this platform, man. You know, it's a new platform. You know, we shaking and moving. You know.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations, man. You know, I mean, I've been around for years. I mean, you know, I've been in the mix for years, and I say, we was speaking a little bit like off the record, but I was like, yo, first of all, on the music side, see, like, you know, I always tell people like there's not a lot of people that I would say when I was coming up or getting in the studio that I had to like you kept me on point all the time, you know, because it was, I mean, really, it was just you. Like, it was really just you as an artist that I had to sit back and be like, damn, like, he knows what he's doing. He you know, everything. So I mean, keep it real. Like, I mean, I know I did my thing back in the day, but there probably wouldn't be me on the level I got to without you, and you know, and on a team. So for sure, 100%, man. Gotta give you the flowers. Yeah.
Yo, thank you, brother. Thank you. That means everything to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of y'all don't know, man. Mims did some real nigga shit. When he blew, he reached back. Son, I'll never forget the day, bro. I tell people, I was at work, right? And I spoke to you. I think This Is Why I'm Hot was just blew. I was at work. I think I was on break or something. You know what I'm saying? I spoke and I was like, yo, bro, you know, congratulations. That's what's up. And if I recall correctly, you was like, yo, I need you to come with me. I need you to come out on the road with me. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm like, yo, but what about my job? He's like, you need to come with me. You know what I'm saying? So I went and told my job, I said, look, man, my bro got a joint. It's on fire right now. He wanted me to come out on the road with him. Yo, they were so excited that they let me go and then took me back when I came off the road. You know what I'm saying? But I tell people all the time that experience was because, you know, I've done shows like at the Hole in the Wall, the smallest underground type level. But then I was fortunate to be a part of your situation, which was the biggest record on the planet at the time. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, to see both sides, to be able to experience both sides, man, look, my memoir, when I do my book, that tour is its own entity. Like, it's its own entity, bro.
we got to tell people how Kelly Ripa was flirting with you, man.
Man, yo, Kelly Ripa wanted my body, man. She wanted my whole body. I'm glad you co-signed that shit. Because I be telling niggas be like, Kelly Ripa. I'm like, telling you, bro, she was on my body, bro.
Word.
Shout to Kelly Ripa, man. Word up. Yeah. But yeah, man, so this platform, like you my brother, so we'll probably be on here all day. So I gotta stick to the format. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stick to the format because we'll be all over the place, man. It's so much that we could get into. Um, we need to do that too. We need to just do that like one day.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying?
We could probably all the content we have. We probably got like a podcast that'll run for a good 4 or 5 years straight.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. Yo,
sure.
if y'all listening out there, hey, yo, Charlemagne, because I know you got the hookup for the podcast. Charlemagne. Hey, yo, Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? So boom.
Yeah.
Okay, it's called your favorite song. You know, you got a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was fortunate enough to hear a lot of stuff that didn't even come out, or stuff that was below the radar. You know what I'm saying? And to the MC, to the lyrical niggas out there, I want to tell you this. I want to go before I even get into this. I want to say this. Please don't get it twisted because MIMS made This Is Why I'm Hot. Okay? Check this out. I don't fuck with niggas that ain't nice on the mic. And you just heard what I said at the beginning that this is one of my closest friends. This nigga and watch Candyman appear. That's all I'm gonna say. But then not only do you gotta deal with him, then you gotta deal with me. You're not just gonna be, it's not just gonna be like I'm jumping in, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But MIMS is a shooter. He's a shooter. Ball for ball, line for line, the wit and all of that. I suggest y'all do your homework. I'm telling you now, MIMS is a gunner. Okay? Now, so I've heard a lot of records, man, from you. Now, first, I'm gonna tell you what my favorite song from you is. Okay. Now, we were on tour, and I forgot where we was. I don't know if we were on the bus, if we were in the car. I don't know. I know I fell asleep. Niggas was playing music. I fell asleep. I don't think Guilt was out yet. I don't think it was out yet. I think it was about to come out, and you might have been playing records. I don't really remember. All I remember is when I woke up, it was a feeling that I felt because of the record that was playing. And that's ill because it's different from, oh, hey, I like this record. No, it was a feeling that it gave. And it's the Heal Me record. Even though it's late in the album, it was, bro, I'm getting chills. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to make records like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like I like it was the feeling, bro. I woke up to it.
Yeah.
Please tell me about that session when you did Hill. Take me there.
Yeah, you know what? It went out for a second, but I'm gonna try to, since we feed off each other, I'm gonna try to pretend like I know what you said. But I'll say this.
No, it's cool. It's cool. We keeping it raw and uncut because you know that's type of, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. The feed went out, but it's all good. Yeah.
All right, no doubt. So take me to the session of Heal Me. Tell me about that. Like what?
Yeah. So the Guilt album in itself was a really, you know, I mean, and you hit the nail on the head, man. Like I've always had two sides to me, right? So there's the side where I get in the studio, I'm like, yo, what kind of hit record we making today? And there was always that, yo, let me cook up something that's good for radio, that's good for television, you know, that people could sing along to, they could hum along to. And, you know, I got a lot of records that are like that. But it's the records that you do that the real you, like you understand how you are artist and you're like, yo, when you get in and you know, okay, cool, like today I get to be me and just me in the vibe. You know, a lot of people don't know my story. They don't know what I've been through in my life. They don't, you know, they listen to music like records like This Is Why I'm Hot, and they kind of build their own assumption, which makes sense because that's probably the most popular song that people recognize from me. But going into the Guilt album, I'm not gonna lie, I felt guilty. Like that was and people be like, well, why you call the album Guilt? But it's because that was my emotion going into the album. If you think about it, right? 2007, I dropped this record that I legit was like making fun of where music was. Like I got in, I freestyled a hook, and then of course, like to my luck, that would be the record that took off for me. And then, you know, brought us, I would say brought us around the world. And that was during like the time where everybody was doing bad, man, financially, you know, banks crashing, homes being foreclosed on, cars being repossessed. And I wanted to enjoy the moment that I created and worked for, but I couldn't. Like I couldn't. It's not my nature. That's never been me as a person. You know, I've always been that person to try to reach out and, you know, do what I can for people. And it was the hardest time of my life. So I think when I went into the Guilt album, my whole mission was away from like the you know, the records like Move and making money. I wanted to sprinkle in a couple of joints that really define who I was. And then like even while we're on the topic, like my favorite record, I had to really think about that right before jumping on here, would probably be the opening track to Guilt, which was the intro. Because if you listen to what I said
So wait,
Guilt.
that's your favorite record on Guilt or your favorite record, period?
That's tough, man.
Because wait,
yeah.
we didn't even ask that question yet. We didn't ask that question. So your favorite, so that's your favorite joint on Guilt.
I think I would say on Guilt, that's my favorite joint. Because which is the title track. Because if you listen to the lyrics, and it ain't about it wasn't about being super lyrical. I was literally just saying how I felt. And if I remember straight, the lyrics was Guilt. I'm a man for success, I am built. And my wealth is described in the form of filth. Now that's a statement filled with irony. Filthy meaning covered with rich my society. Turn my back on real shit. This is a quiet me. Cars, cribs, chains, finding things to entirety. When society sometimes relies on me. Now poor people got their eye on me. Money, power, respect creates tyranny. What a tyrant I've been. I agree. Conscience burning me like over 99 degrees, but I love the way that coupe sit. And if you know me, right? See, so you know, like when I go from conscience burning me like over 99 degrees, but then I talk about, but I love the way the coupe sit. And I love the way these $1,000 shoes fit. You know that was really who I was. It was like a part of me loved to floss and do this stuff, but then the other side of me was like, yo, am I like is this how's this helping people? Like, what am I doing to give back to the culture or push the culture forward? And I got stuck. Like even now till this day, I almost feel like you know, musically, I'm one of those people that got stuck because half of me is one person and the other half of me is like Jekyll and Hyde. You know what I'm saying? So for me on that album, probably the Guilt record was the one that resonates with me the most. And then, you know, Heal Me is just, you know, same thing, man. It's really just getting into the fact where I mean, just even as a Black man, like going through certain things in your life, you don't want to admit that take effect or hurt you. And I'm just asking like to be healed and be forgiven because of where my mind is. You know, we was on the road, man. We had a lot of fun. You know, it was great, but you know, there's, like I said, there's always that side of you question whether or not you're pushing the culture forward and you're doing the right thing as a person, or are you just kind of like partaking in the festivities and just going with the flow. So Guilt in itself, I think, was probably a misunderstood project for me. Just dealing with all the trials and tribulations with the label, you know, just in my life. So if you listening to this, I would say give that album a listen just to kind of get a little bit more in depth of who I was at that time in my career. So
Facts.
yeah. So And I don't know, favorite record of all time.
But wait.
All right,
Before we even go into that, I want to ask you about This Is Why I'm Hot.
Got it.
So, This Is Why I'm Hot. I will forever love that record because of what it did for you.
Yeah.
And what it did for you, you were able to do for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Myself included. And it was something about, like, I've done a lot of shows, man, you know, and it was something about when we performed that record. You know what I'm saying? That how can I describe this shit, big? Like it was, and you already know, but I need the people to understand. Like it's something about when you're performing a song that don't nobody really know. It's hot, and you performing it, and people is, you know, they just standing there or they bobbing their head. They don't really know it. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker there. This is why I'm hot. Let me tell you something, brother. We done did arenas, bro. There's so many stories. Like, I remember Little Rock, Arkansas. We came out on stage. The whole crowd had read it. The whole crowd. What the fuck? Like, where are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember we did the show. We were late. Well, I think it was Minneapolis. We were late, and
we came on with
we came out with the luggage, getting brought the shits on stage. Like, yo, man, yo, we was late. We just came off the play. You know what I'm saying? Even on down to This Is Why I'm Hot. I'm rap, and then stopping the beat and let the crowd sing that shit. Woo! Yo, there's something about performing a song that everybody knows, and even if they say they hate it, they secretly love it because they heard it over and over. We know because there's mad records like that. You understand what I'm saying? That we've heard. So you can't front on it when it came on, and then the reggae shit. So my question to you is, what does that record really mean to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a couple parts to this question because I want to know as an artist. You know what I'm saying? What does that record mean to you? And do you still love the record? Do you like the record? Because I'm gonna tell you something. The song that put me on the map, the Knots record for the kids, I can't even listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't even like it. But guess what? If I do a show, I have to do it.
Yeah.
But I do a cheat code because what I'll do is I'll just play the beginning of it. Let a little bit of it, and I'll cut it off like I ain't doing this. Yeah. And then go into something else. So at least it came on, they heard it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What it mean to you, bro? What does This One Hot mean?
So I'm gonna use an analogy that a lot of like sports people will get and understand. And I know you'll connect with me on this one. You know, when you come from New York, and at that time as a New York artist, there was so much, I guess, pollution or noise in the space, right? So there's a lot of people in the space, and some really great, some good, some really great, some not, not so good. And for me, I came from an underdog position, meaning there was no record label trying to sign me. You know, there was no A&R looking at my project saying, "Yo, we got to get this kid." We really took a record from being from New York, took a record to the South, popped the record in the South, popped the record in the West Coast, and then brought it to New York, and it kind of like, not to say force people to play it, but they supported it because they saw the movement. So I'm gonna use an analogy, right? I'm a Knicks fan, right? So like it's tough being a Knicks fan because we haven't had a championship in a long time. And I remember, so imagine you being a Knicks fan and now you the number one pick that no one believed in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not even the number one pick. I'm gonna say, let's say I'm like 30, or like 40 on the list for that draft. I don't know. And then you come in, and then that's that season that you come in, you win the chip, you go all the way, and you the MVP. That's how that record feels. It was one of those, nobody expected it. Nobody even understood the scalability of it. But when it went number one, it was a win that I could bring back to my city and say, yo, regardless of how y'all feel or what is done, at a time where a lot of stuff was being pointed in other directions and other cities and other areas of artists blowing up, I brought a championship back that year, 2007, to New York. And I think at that time it was me and I think Jim Jones had the We Fly High record. And I think for me that's the best feeling. Like when people ask me to this day, you think about some of the greatest basketball players that never got rings, and that's another analogy we could play on, right? Because that's a whole different analogy. I know that at bare minimum I got my one, and that means a lot to any artist. That's like, if you in the streets, like Nas said, the street dreams, the key is the legacy for the street dream. So that ring that I was able to bring back, that it changed a lot in my life. It changed a lot of what I was able to do, and and who I was able to help out even after the fact. So I'm forever indebted to the record. It's a gift and a curse though, like because you forever indebted to it. The gift is that it's changed you. The curse is that there was so much more depth to me as a musician that when and this is another convo. I know we don't got that much time, but with having a record of that magnitude and that big, it's almost like people wanted me to fail. Like as soon as that record was done, everything else that came after was compared to that, and it's like it's and I don't know if that's like I don't know what that is about people, but it was almost like people wanted me to fail. And if you knew me as a person, like I'm the type of person I root for everybody, so like right, if there's other artists that came out around that time and we was there, we met a lot of the cast that records came up after, and I was still in the corner like,
so real shit. I remember, do you remember we was in the elevator with the nigga Hurricane Chris when A-Bay came out, right? It was me, you, and him in the elevator. We had all just checked into the hotel. You said to the nigga, yo, that A-Bay, that shit is doing this thing right now. That nigga said, I know. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before. I remember because you brought it up in the past, but I mean, listen, man, I think there's a certain amount. What I realized, man, a lot of people, and this is not a knock, because once again, I've been around so many people like in the industry. A lot of the cast, even if y'all watching, you don't realize, like, even though you don't see me, I've been in the background of a lot of shit around a lot of people, and just even if it's a conversation or phone conversation and saying, yo, how did you do that? And giving away a couple of formulas here and there. But I realized, like, a lot of cats, when they got in, especially around that era and time, the money might have like changed them up a little bit, and, but to each his own, man. I mean, for me, I and how I was. See, it was every show. I'm gonna take every picture. I'm gonna shake every hand. I'm gonna go out here and make an impact. At every and to the point where people got mad at me for doing that at half the time. Like, yo, where's he at? Yeah, he's still taking pictures. He's still shaking hands. So, but I was so appreciative, man. I was appreciative of that moment in my life, and I will say this. Maybe I'm wrong about what my favorite record would be. Maybe I should say This Is Why I'm Hot, only because of the magnitude of how it changed my life. Because now that I think about it, like every good and bad memory stems from the process of what that record where brought us, and how big it was. So yeah, I might have to rethink what my favorite is, and just by default put that at the top of the list. You know.
But okay, what's the runner up then?
No, so I did a record so I did a record on an album called Doctor Doctor, which was on the first album. It was produced by my guy Cole Fenton. Shout out to Fenton on that
Classic.
record. And I'm gonna tell you, it's two reasons why it's my favorite. One is he put a sample in the record that I couldn't clear, that the label had a hard time clearing. That ate up probably the majority of the publishing on that record, and I think they were able to I don't know if they were able to get their masters back because we negotiated the hell out of it to make it happen. But the other side of it was, you ever write something and then you realize like the stuff you write, it comes true later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
All
I don't
the
know
time. All the time.
Exactly. So I used to like a lot of that record was like about mental awareness and how I felt as an artist and like just the strenuous work behind it, and I mean for the people listening, I know you got a lot of artists in your network. I mean, and you like I'm saying, it's tough talking to you because you've been there, so you already know half the shit I'm gonna say. But yo, being an artist is hard work, yo. It's not easy work. For anybody thinking it's just putting your pen to the pad and getting in the lab and writing, it's great. That's great, but it's not that, man. It's a lot of sleepless nights. We was on planes at 5 a.m. in the morning. We leaving clubs at 3 a.m., playing at 5 a.m. in the morning, radio show at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. in the city you drop in, and you doing that straight 6-7 months at a time. So, yeah, man. I mean, that record, Doctor Doctor, for me, it was almost like you created something and then you prophesized it and you see it and then it became what it was. I mean, so it's always been one of those records I vibe to, and I put it on that list as like one of my personal favorites for sure.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all check out Doctor Doctor. That is a classic. That's a classic record. That's on the Music Is My Savior album, the first album. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Yeah, that's a good one. I wouldn't have thought you would have said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that. Yeah, that's ill.
Yeah.
That's ill.
Yeah. And I would say this, we got records too, see? So like we got, I don't know how many albums of records we got that was post, 2004, 2003, but
Yeah.
Yo, we got some joints.
I'm gonna bring you out retirement, bro. Like we gonna go, man. Like we gotta do this face-off thing. Y'all see this here first. I'm trying to bring MIMS back into it. Man, look, and it's just gonna be hard shit.
I mean, you know what it is. I always say like one weekend and just a straight, maybe 3 or 4 days just locked in. And I think we know how we work, man. So I just got to dust the rust off a little bit,
Yeah,
you already hit a stride, seed. I'm hearing the projects you dropping. You
I
already
dig
hit
it.
a stride, bro.
I dig it.
So,
I dig it. Look, take your time, brother. I ain't going nowhere. All I know is when we do it, y'all heard it here first. It's gonna be crazy, stupid, and stupido. So hold on. So what do you got going on now? Like what do you? I know you just became a father. I've already told you congratulations, but super congratulations.
Appreciate
it. What you been up to, bro?
Yo, you know what? Just building awareness. I'm on the tech side now, so like if anybody ever like wondered what happened or where I'm at, I do a lot of stuff on the music software side. I got heavily involved in blockchain technology. For those who know what that is, if you don't, you should look it up because that is the wave of the future. Now the new craze in this world is NFTs. So I've been kind of like trying to be the liaison between certain companies and artists when it comes to understanding what NFTs can do for the music industry or for artists, and then just also, just trying to be creative and push the culture forward, man. Because, like I said, man, for me, coming out of that bad scenario with the label, and a lot of the stuff, I decided to not record music, but it didn't mean that I didn't want to help push the culture forward. So like you probably find me more nowadays just being on the behind the scenes side of it, trying to educate people. Because here's the truth, man. You know, and you understand to see, like, there's not a lot of financial outlets for artists anymore. You know, especially because streaming has been, you know, I mean, back in the day, we could at least sell CDs. You make a certain amount of money, and I'm not knocking the technology and the revolution of music. I'm just saying that us as artists, we got to protect the stuff that we put out. We got to protect what we do, and we got to find different avenues to bring in revenue, because this is how you feed your family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yo,
on the forefront of
the
that.
money's in vinyl. Vinyl there's money in there, bro. There's money in there.
Exactly. So the shout out to the people that love that nostalgia, man, because I think that plays a part in music and life now, is those people who understand what vinyl is. And maybe we'll even take it back to those tape deck days, and
Yeah. Cause yo, let
like
me
I
tell
said,
you,
with music becomes more.
the shit tripped me out. That vinyl, like I always was hearing vinyl, but we did vinyl for the Sixers project, and the shit sold out in an hour. You know what I'm saying? And that and it tripped me out. It made me say, yo, this is something that I have to figure out and get into, because I have a catalog, and you can do business. Like people are buying these things, and they're buying them for anywhere between $20 and $100.
Yeah.
And DJs buy too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you what's wild is that's exactly the same conversation with NFTs. And I know a lot of people probably wondering what an NFT is, and I don't want to dive too crazy into that on this session, but it's the same concept, man. It's a non-fungible token. It allows you to basically use your digital art, music, or whatever, and just kind of attach it to the blockchain. The beauty behind it is really about rewarding your community and your fans. So why I love what you talked about with vinyl is because vinyl is basically a collectible. It's the reason why people are buying it, because they could stick it on their shelf and then pull it out 15 years from now and be like, yo, I got this vinyl, vinyl collection. And I think NFTs kind of run around the same concept, is that you want to build a community of fans. I'll say this: what I love that you're doing, like I said, I want to give you your flowers as much as possible. Is that I've watched you, go from being my mentor on the music side, and we've had conversations about, same thing, like, I don't want to do the music anymore, and I'm backing out.
Right.
And then every time I hear a new project from you, like you've been extremely authentic, musically authentic to who you are since day one, man. Let alone the projects are dope, but your authenticity is dope. And I think what you're doing is you're building a community where we talk about it. And I used to tell people, yo, if you don't like somebody's music, the best thing you could do is turn that shit off. And now you got artists like yourself that are proven that they're still fans to the culture and the music. And to me, that's the perfect mixture for, like you said, vinyls, NFTs, anything on the collectible side. Because if you got real fans out there, which you do, you want them to be down for the long term. So yeah, man. Another time we can educate the audience on NFTs and whatnot. But I'm commending you, bro. Like, I'm proud of you for what you're doing. I'm proud of the music, man. And we here. We already know we brothers, so we here, man. We here.
Yeah. Nah, that means a lot coming from you. You know what I'm saying? Cause yo, I'm gonna tell you back in the day when I met you in the studio, I knew that I had to come with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was the same thing. We met Dirty Swift. It was Dirty Swift, Reg.
Yeah.
Dirty Swift.
Yep.
They brought me and they was telling me about you. And it was like, yeah, MIMS. And then I heard your shit. I was like, yikes.
Yeah. Crazy. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, BadSeed being humble, man. BadSeed was that guy. Like, you know, if you was in New York City during that time, you understand his movement and what he was doing. You understand he was that guy. So like you know, once again, and I'm not saying it's a New York thing. I don't want to disrespect any other places, but for all those cats that come out of New York, you know, like, you know, you wasn't just going in any old body's studio with no you know, no halfway written raps. Like you got in some
That's a
spots and some
fact.
cats that look at you and be like, nah, you can't come in here with that. And you know, you like he was that guy, y'all. So I know y'all watching out there. You know, you sitting here trying to be humble, but that, you know,
He's
if you was in
lying.
New York around that time, you already know what it was, man.
He's
For real.
lying.
Yeah. So, but
Yo,
nah.
how you gonna lie? How you just gonna come on the platform with just lie to the people on the platform, man?
Nah, man. Nah. I remember what was it? Planet Hollywood with the throwback
Yeah.
king of the throwback jerseys. You know, nah,
Yeah.
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 That was that, and I would say that's the golden era for me. At least that was my golden era of just enjoy. Like, that was the most fun I ever had in my life with music. Was that era? I think that I would say circa 2002, 2003. That was those times. Like I said, if y'all was in New York City at that time, don't let's see you humble you out. You was in the club, Jay-Z was there. You know, you look in the corner, you got Diddy on one side, Jay-Z on one side, you got TheBadSeed popping bottles on one side. So don't let them humble you, man. We know what it is. But nah, but like I said, I thank you, man, because, you know,
You ain't supposed to tell them that. That's a secret. They ain't supposed to know that. I'm supposed to just be regular C. I'm supposed to just be regular C.
Nah, he was in there, you know, he was in there getting in on the line. I was probably stuck on that line a little longer. But, you know, but C was in that club. It's like, oh, Seed in there? All right, cool. But that's New York, man. Planet Hollywood, those days, man. So, you know, golden era for me, man. So I appreciate it, because if it wasn't for those experiences, for me, even my team and some of my team members, man, that kept them motivated to kind of keep pushing for me to do what I did. So
the whole
much
squad.
appreciated.
Shout to the whole squad. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, you already know what it is. You know, like, this is ill, y'all, because this is my brother. So I know I know it's a little, you know, and it was freezing a lot during it, but it was wild because while it was doing it, it still was catching up. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's how our style is. You know what I'm saying? Our style, like you feel me? So when y'all watch this and y'all see it might stutter step a little bit, that's just our style. We gonna you know what I'm saying? We just doing a crossover real quick. That's all. Stop playing. Like, don't play with me. All right? Yo, Mims, thank you for coming by. You already know. I support everything you do. One day we gonna get back on that stage, but it don't even matter, because we about to do a project. Yo, I swear, I'm gonna talk it into existence. TheBadSeed and MIMS are gonna do a project, and it's gonna be the hardest shit you ever heard. I promise. I'm saying it right here. I'm saying it right here. Yo, watch this. MIMS, love all the time, brother.
My brother. Love you, bro. Word.